Hey guys, Randy Richard in the shop. So this should be the last installment of the gear repair. We've had a lot of things leading up to the old gear repair, so we've had some big ass solutions to get there. Let me put on my coffee. So we've gone through raising up that dividing head to match the tail center for it. We repaired the jack screws on the taper attachment so we could make a mandrel to use the taper attachment. So we did, so we made a mandrel for that. Then a little bit in there, I just threw a couple pictures up. I had to make a circle plate for the dividing head, a 19-hole circle plate. So I threw a couple pictures up of putting that on the mill there and using the bolt holes. What I did is I used the bolt hole function of the DRO and to drill those 19 holes. And now we're going to cut the gear. And we got it all set up over there. And I'm going to show you some, just a kind of overview, pretty specific about how I got it, how I set it up and everything. But I'm not going to go through all the setup. It's taken me a while to do that. It'd be kind of a long video, so I'm going to point out the things, what I did and things you got to kind of look for to do that. And then we're going to cut the gear. So we should wrap all this up then. So thanks for watching. If you've watched all the videos of this little series, but it's been kind of fun. All these little things I had to do to get to the point to actually fix the gear. Doing a gear, fixing one like this, you can do it at home. That's what I'm hoping. I'm showing you that you can fix it. I'm only going to use this gear as a backup gear because I did buy a gear for the one on the lathe to use in the and I did a video on that, what I had to do to that gear to make it work for me. So this is going to be a backup one if I need one, and it's a good video for folks to see all this. Keith Fenner did a really excellent video series on repairing a gear too at one time there, and that's actually an excellent one to watch also. I'm doing basically the same kind of method, brazing it up and cutting the gears back in. So it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out good. So stay tuned. we'll go through it here together. So anyway, nothing like almost live, huh? Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. And we're trying to have some fun here, so let's get back to doing some machining. So there's the rig, dogged up, still on the arbor. I never took it off, and there's the how that looks cut. So far, I just did a little sand there and made it nice and smooth. Cleaned up, took the burrs off. So we're ready to do the gear cut. We'll get it set up in the mill. Over at the mill. So here's the dividing head, tail center, and this is the gear on the mandrel. And then this is a over here. I'll swing the camera around so you can see the other side here too. But there's a dog, and I have that engaged with the tailstock with the center over here, so that this will turn. When we turn the dividing head. So what I got here is a boring head. This is a Creterion 1-inch. Boring head. So now this is a boring bar that I made, and what I've done is this is a piece of 1/4-inch tool steel. I've ground it to match a gear profile. I didn't do it with this to match the gear exactly on this gear itself, but I used one of its mating gears that I have for the change gears. So should be pretty good. So let's see here. So what I did is you need to get, so you just put the gear on your mandrel. That's, nice and tight on there. And you put it up here in between your centers. You get everything lined up. Now, you need, to me, it's easiest to have a bar that is straight and has been turned between centers. I put it in there. I have a bar and I put it in here, and that's how I aligned everything to get to be center to center wise. I aligned my dividing head. I just used this plate here to get it aligned with the mill, and then I put the center up, put the bar in, and then ran an indicator up and down the side to get my Y position, and on the top to get my Z position. So I had to just a couple thousandths adjustment on the angle of the head to get the bar level, basically, right? And, we're talking just a couple thousandths. It's hardly anything. The mark on the dividing head for the little protractor that's on there, it's still on 0. So that's how we're talking very, very little. So that came out good about raising the dividing head up with that 1/2-inch plate. So once you get, so the dividing head's aligned, then we put a bar in, we align the tail center, we take the bar out, and then we put in our mandrel with the gear and the dog. And then what I did is I lock the dividing head on one of the holes that we need. Now we needed 19. We needed a circle with 19 holes. This is a 76 tooth gear, and that's what we needed, 19. So 10/19 goes into that 4 times actually. So we'll go 10 holes, and then we go 10 more. We'll do 10 holes each time to go to each gear. So what I did is I put it in a hole. I have it loose on my dog, and I aligned the the gear with my gear cutter. See, I don't know if you can see, but it goes right in the tooth of the gear there. So I sat here with magnifiers on and aligned my cutter just perfect, and then I locked my dog onto the shaft. Once I got all this aligned in the gear, then of course I tested it, to make sure it's going to line up on each gear tooth, and it does. So we're just going to cut here. We're going to make so 2 teeth were broken, so we need to make 3 cuts through there, and we'll see how it goes. So what I did is of course, you want your cutter to be on center line with your shaft and your gear so it cuts it straight. And so what I did is I put my cutter, when I adjusted the height of the table, I put it right on the center of the tailstock, so it's right on center. That's about it. So pretty much we're ready to go here, and we'll use the table. We'll use the Y-axis for the depth, for control of the depth of the cutting, and You know, just be going in and out. So we'll just use the y-axis. We won't be adjusting the boring head. Yeah, this is a lot easier if you're just going to cut this blank and start right fresh with a new gear and cut all the teeth. You don't have to do some of this, but to align it into an existing gear, you have to take your time and get that so it's just going to cut it just right. That's about where we're at. So we'll get the camera swung in a little bit different position here, so it's out of the way, so I can do this, and we'll get it set up to cut a couple teeth here. Okay, I think we're ready. Make sure the swing is good. I'm just going through the one gear there. It looks like there might have been a touch of braze or something there, a little flux or something, just for a test cut, just to I zeroed my y-axis so I know exactly where I am at with the depth. Okay, that's full depth. And it is really slow, full depth. I'm turning 1800 RPM on this. I don't think we'll go full depth. It's not sounding good. Too much load there. pretty good, believe it or not. Alright, I'll bring you back when I down to the last bit. Okay, that's 2 cut, 1 more to go. Okay, well, we made our 3rd cut. So we made, 1, 2, 3, we made 4 cuts. The first 3 look great. That 4th one is off. Huh. I think we're going to rebraze that and recut them. That somehow got off. I'm going to have to look into why that got off. And when I rebraze it and recut it. Things happen. So what happened, my spindle lock wasn't as tight as it probably should have been. It was actually kind of loose, or got loose. Let me pull that away. And what happened is it pulled down here, and that's why that tooth got cut so thin. The other 2 look pretty good, but there is, there's a little bit of vibration going on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to rebraze, and I'm going to cut them again. Okay, I'm on the final cut there. Final cuts. Still got a few to go. Got the burrs to clean up. Doesn't look half bad. Not too bad. So we got a bunch of burrs to clean up. I'll do that and we'll take another look at it. Okay, I spent about 30-40 minutes doing a little filing and cleaning up. I think my cutter should have been a little bit wider because I could have cleaned up a little more off of these other teeth. I should have. So I had to kind of file that and do a little bit of work on them. But they do mesh. They don't feel unusual when you run two gears together. So I think I'm going to give it a little coat of paint on the inside here. It tends to rust. So, and we'll put it in the lathe and give her a try. Other than that, not too bad. Not too bad. I think I could have done better, but it's not bad. It's just, it would be like an emergency type gear anyway if I had a problem. But we'll put it in the lathe and we'll give her a go. So we're over here. This is the change gear setup for the Lance lathe here. There's only 3 gears. There's a little one up here, which you can see. One here and one here. And there's a diagram. I'm sorry. Over here on the door that shows you the setup and all the gear setups and all the speeds, and the screw pitches that the lathe can cut. So, with each set of gears, there's a whole slew of ranges, because then you have gears over here you'll change also to get all these ranges of whether they're threads, pitches, or feed rates. So this is the gear that I purchased because the one I only had one of these, and it was broken with the 2 teeth missing, right? So what we're going to do is here's a gear I fixed. Now, I don't do as good a paint job as all the other guys. Sometimes I really take my time, but sometimes I don't. So, I kind of really don't like painting, but at times I have my moments, you might say. But this is the old the Rust-Oleum spray can technique. I know one of my viewers there, Ray Goff, he'll be amazed. I know he hasn't done any videos, but boy, I tell you, some of the pictures I've seen of his stuff is really nice. He's quite the whiner when he calls, but that's okay. He's a nice guy. But he does do nice paint jobs. He has like 5 lathes. At least that's what he tells me. So anyway, so here's our gear painted up. You can see the 2. That's where the 2 teeth were missing. This is a 76 tooth gear. So we're just going to swap it out. My eye really is not quite metric calibrated. I'm more of an SAE guy. But I have a full set of gears. Actually, I have 2 of just about everything except the 7. Well, now I have 2 of the 76 gears. I have a full couple sets of gears for it, which is kind of nice. Actually, I should buff this and give this a paint job while I got it out. So I'm gonna run that gear for a little bit to see how it goes. And, just doing a comparison here, and it don't look too bad. Like I said, I do feel I could have done a better job. I should have took this gear out and made my cutter to this gear. And I didn't do that because this is a brand new gear. Now these are metric pitched gears, and I was really having a hard time trying to find a gear cutter for these things. That's why I ended up, but I was able to buy the gear actually for fairly cheap. This cost me like $60. I had to do some machining. It was too wide, and it didn't have a recess like all these ones did. So I had to do some machining to it, and I had to put a keyway in it. But
So it was a lot easier just to buy the thing. Even though I had to work on it, but still. Then buy a set of gear cutters, or even try to find the one. If I could find the right one, maybe I would, because it was like, this was like a 1.5 or module, or a metric module or something like that. Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but it was kind of a little bit unusual. So maybe if I find, I'd love to have some gear cutters, and I'm gonna have to do some more research and stuff, because I'd make my own gear. Yeah, a little bit there. We'll leave that, just a little bit of backlash there for now. So we can rotate it around. Let's see here. Oh, it goes right through. No problem. It looks like. Of course, it probably fits a little bit tighter than the other teeth. They probably aren't as worn. But yeah, that looks good. Let's make sure everything's snug here. I don't think I loosened anything. Here, we'll just give her a little run. Do it really slow. I can get the lathe down to pretty darn slow. With the VFD, you have, even in this gear, I can get it down to about like 17 RPM or something on that spindle. If I change gears, of course, I can get a pretty spindle speed. I can get way down. So there's those gears that are coming up here. Right there we go. There's the gears teeth. So, hey, I think they're gonna run all right. We'll run it here for a few minutes. Then I'll bring you back and we'll take it out and take a look at it. Okay, I shut it off and I let it run for 10-15 minutes. And I'm going to pop it off there, take a look at it. So not too bad as far as some the marks of the lathes have some a little bit of oil, of course, on the gears and stuff, and so I'm just kind of looking where the wear marks are and how even they are across the tooth. If they're in the right range, they're not hitting on the bottom, good. The top of the teeth aren't hitting on the other gear, good. You want it to be even across there, right at the was it the pitch diameter of the gear. This one has the most contact. This one is showing very little actually, and this one's showing just a little. So of course I didn't have a lot of load. I was running the carriage back and forth, but you know, and it weren't cutting, so not a lot of load on the gears, but they are showing a little bit of little bit of tooth contact, not too bad, not all in one spot, so not too bad. So it's going to work out just fine for us. I think I'm going to leave it in there and run it for a while I'm using the lathe. I'm going to paint that other, and we'll paint the other one up, get it painted. Actually, the change gear thing on here is real simple. It only takes a few minutes to swap the gears if you want to change them and adjust the banjo, and you're good to go. It's a really it's minor as far as some lathes go. This is really pretty minor. I'll squirt a little lube on those and be good to go. All right, you guys, that's the conclusion of our gear repair up and working. So we'll be running it in the lathe, and we'll make sure it's going to be good to go. And then I'll probably put the other one back in there. I just want this one, that way I have a spare if I ever need it. So thank you for watching. It's a long road to get to this point, but there was just a lot of things that needed to get done to get to that point, type of thing. So, but a lot of other good repairs. So we're going to be moving on to some newer projects I've got lined up. So thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoy. So here's the finished gears, and this is the one I purchased, and this is the finished gear. I'm going to try to hold them up here, and you'll see the mesh. Anyway, so I've been running this one. I even painted it. I've been running this one for several days. Let's say I might have an hour on it. You turn off and on the lathe and stuff, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So they look pretty good. I'm having some tooth contact in here. The other ones don't look really like they've hardly been touched a little bit. They actually, the wear would be on this side. So there's a little tooth contact there and there I can see. There might be a little bit on the tight side on that middle tooth. I might touch that with a file a little bit, but other than that, it will work. It works great for spare gear. It'll be just fine, and I'm real happy with it. There we go. Thanks a lot, you guys.